Jessie Rubini. Yeah, Jessie Rubini.
Hello. I just put my name in. I didn't really prepare, so cut me some slack if I'm not good. So I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, which I loved. It was really sweet. And I grew up in the city, but in a suburban kind of part. There was like a lot of grass and dogs running around and like MILFs and Pilates pants and like pushing their carts and stuff. So it was a really nice childhood. And when I was in middle school, I left for a summer. I went to sleepaway camp because I'm Jewish, and that's what you do when you're a Jewish kid. You go to sleepaway camp. And so I came back, and I was used to all the houses looking the same. No one really did construction in my neighborhood at all, and you always had the same neighbors. I still have the same neighbors to this day. But I came back, and there was a change. There was the house next to us had been bought, and there was a different neighbor in that house now. And I hadn't met her, and my parents hadn't met her. No one had met her. The only thing that we knew about her was that there was a sign in the front yard that was bright yellow, and it had red writing on it, and it said, "Psychic Denise." And so a psychic had moved next door, and none of us could have known this because we were not psychic, but she was. But yeah, so we had this neighbor, and we never saw her. It was like Willy Wonka. Like, no one came in, no one came out. But like she had customers. People would drive up to her house and like go quickly inside and come out, enlightened and whatever, probably ripped off. So I went into the school year, summer ended, and Halloween rolled around, and I needed a costume. And I didn't know what to do because I was kind of a punk-ass kid. I didn't really like the traditional witch and bitchy candy corn and stuff like that. So I wanted to make my own costume. And my dad, who's also kind of like a jerk, was like, "Well, why don't you dress up as Psychic Denise?" And I was like, "Okay." And my dad was like, "No, don't do that." And I was like, "No, I'm going to." And so I did. And so I got like a bright white shirt yellow shirt from CVS, and I put bright red lettering on it that said Psychic Denise. And I had like a kimono that was silk, and it was turquoise and like really cool. And I wore jewelry, and I had a turban. I put bright blue eyeshadow on, and I was like loving it. I had pictures that you can see on my Instagram because I, still love it. And so yeah, I went as Psychic Denise. Meanwhile, no one had met her. No one knew if she was crazy or not. No one knew anything about her. And we have a block party every Halloween. So I went to the block party with my other little friends who were dressed up. They were dressed up as the Winnie the Pooh characters. I did not join them in this because my idea was better. So I joined them, and it was like Piglet and Tigger and me, the psychic. So we went to the block party. All the parents loved it. None of the kids got it, but I didn't care. And my brother, who was a little bit older, was like, "I dare you to go to Psychic Denise's house. I dare you." And I was like, hell no. I am not doing that. She might be crazy. What if she reads my future and I don't get into college and my life would be ruined? And no, I'm not going. I'm not going. And he's like, "Oh, you're going." And so he shoves me, and I'm like, "You shove me all the time. Why do you think shoving me now would get me to go?" And he's like, "Fine." And he took my candy because it was Halloween, and I go, "Shit. All right, fine, I'll go." And so I walk up to this lady's house, candyless, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. She's gonna shoot me or kill me or just read my palms really aggressively or something. And so my brother's standing there behind me like, "You're doing this." And I say, "Fine." And I go up to the door, and I ring the doorbell, and I wait, and the door opens, and there's another mom in yoga pants. And I go, "Hello." And she goes, "I knew you'd be coming."